Hello everyone and welcome back to another Star Wars figure review. Today we're going to take a look at another figure from the Black Series 6-inch line, and in today's review I've got another figure, like with Lando Calrissian that I previously reviewed, that's hot off the press. This figure has only recently been released in the last couple of weeks and it's an absolute gem. It's one of the best figures in the 6-inch line so far in my opinion, and it is of course none other than the menacing Tusken Raider from Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope. Now right off the bat, this figure is currently available in two packaging variations, the first of which is of course the standard red and black packaging of the Black Series, and of course the second is the very cool 40th anniversary vintage card design. I have been able to pick up the red and black box version, so I'll give you a look at the packaging in just a little bit, but as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this figure is absolutely stunning. Hasbro have really hit a home run with this guy. The sculpt, the soft goods, the accessories, overall execution is absolutely fab, and I can't wait to give you a look at this guy in more detail throughout this review. So before we jump into the review, a huge thumbs up and a thanks goes out to Steve Evans and the Hasbro team for putting this one together. It's an absolutely fantastic figure, and if you want to add one to your own collection, be sure to hit the link in the video description, which will take you to staractionfigures.co.uk. At the time of filming this review, both packaging variations are currently available for pre-order, although I believe that this figure in the standard box should be available pretty soon. The 40th anniversary figures are set for release in June, I believe. So let's take a quick look at the packaging that this figure comes in. As you can see, this is the standard red and black box design for the Black Series, which, as I mentioned in my last video, is in desperate need of an update. Once you've seen one of these boxes, you've really seen them all, and the overall design is getting a little bit boring. As you can see at the top of the box, you've got the Black Series logo, you've got the window there where the figure would sit, and of course the artwork down in the bottom corner, which I still love. The packaging design itself may be a little bit dated and a little bit boring, but the artwork on the cards themselves look really nice. On the side, a full 360 there. We do have, of course, the number in the series, and then on the back we have the number once again, the Black Series logo, the artwork, and a brief description of the character. Now, I would have liked to have picked up the vintage version, but quite frankly, for me personally, packaging is irrelevant. As much as I love the vintage cards, I'm just going to rip these open and throw the packaging in the bin. And the main reason I wanted to add this figure to my collection, not only because Tusken Raiders are absolutely awesome, but also because I'm really excited to add this one to my 40th anniversary legacy pack display stand, which was of course released with the brand new Darth Vader figure, which I'll be giving you a look at in a future review. So enough talk, let's take a look at the Tusken Raider itself. And as I mentioned, this guy is absolutely stunning. What I really like about this figure is the head sculpt, which Hasbro have just absolutely knocked out of the park. The detail and the depth in those bandages is absolutely awesome. There's some really nice weathering, some really nice paint applications on those, and it's just a really nice head sculpt. One of the things that I really want to see now that Hasbro have the tooling for the Sand People is a 6-inch Sharad Het from the old expanded universe. I think that would make an incredible figure. For those of you that aren't aware, Sharad Het, or Asharad Het, his father, was... no, Sharad Het is Asharad's father, my apologies. Asharad and Sharad Het were Tusken Jedi, and they appeared in some comics many years ago. Give them a quick Google search and you'll see them, but they were fantastic characters, ones that I grew up with. So it'd be really nice to see 6-inch versions of those. So Hasbro, if you're listening, please make them. Back to this figure though, again, sculpt, detail, overall execution, absolutely top notch. And what I really like about this figure is just the sheer amount of accessories that he comes with. As you can see, he does come with the trademark Tusken Gaffy Stick, which is a really nice sculpt, nice detail on there. And what I really like about this one is the fact that the gaffy stick actually comes with interchangeable heads, which isn't something I was expecting until this figure arrived on my doorstep. Once I opened this one up and I saw how many accessories it came with, this figure just went, so far up in my opinion, and the addition of those was really welcome. So all you have to do to interchange those gaffy stick heads is just pop the top off like so, And you do get two different variations. You've got this one, which looks a little bit like a baking whisk, but it still looks pretty cool. Got this silver tip, which looks really, really nice. And then you can switch that one out for an ever so slightly different version, like so. Now the only downside is to these gaffy stick variations is that this is now going to mean we have to buy 3 different Tusken Raider figures to be able to display all those different gaffy sticks. So thanks Hasbro, you've just conned me out of an extra 2 Tusken Raider figures. In addition to the gaffy stick, he also comes with the blaster rifle, which we see him use to take pot shots at the pod racers in episode 1. Really nice detail on this rifle. Hoping the camera focuses in on it, but as you can see, got all the wood grain in there. Got the safety latch, some silver highlights, the scope. Just some great detail on that rifle. And he holds it really well. In addition to the weapons, he does of course come with the soft goods robe, which is really, really nice. It's made of a great material, very similar to the one used on the 3 3/4 inch vintage Saga collection Tusken Raider that was released back in 2006, which is also, coincidentally enough, currently available as part of the latest wave of 3 3/4 inch Black Series figures. It's a figure that still holds up by today's standards, so I've got no issues with seeing it repacked. But the robe on this 6-inch figure is very similar to that in the sense that it's very thick, very rough, very rugged, and it just has this really, really nice look to it, and it just looks fantastic on this figure. In terms of articulation, the Tusken Raider features a ball joint and hinge at the neck, although the hinge is slightly hindered by this plastic piece at the back which connects to this sort of neck brace piece on the front of the figure. He features hinges at the shoulders and elbows, hinges at the wrists, a ball joint at the torso, ball hinges at the hips which are slightly hindered by the plastic robes underneath. We also have swivels at the upper thigh, double joints in the knees and double joints in the ankles. And as you can see, the detail on the head continues into the bandage wraps around the legs and feet, which are absolutely awesome. Now, one of the things that I was a little bit skeptical about with this figure was the inclusion of plastic robes. I feel like with Hasbro's Black Series 6-inch line, if they're going to use soft goods, I'd rather see them commit to it all the way and just, you know, all the robes just be soft goods. I feel this mix of plastic and soft goods doesn't really work. Case in point, Emperor Palpatine from a previous wave. I thought that was a terrible figure. Just really poor execution overall. But with this figure, it's not too bad. As you can see, it does allow for a little bit more freedom in terms of detail. So you've got these frayed edges around the bottom of the robes. You've also got this dirt applied via some paint on the bottom. And it just looks really, really nice. And in many ways, it creates a more natural look for the figure. It does hinder the articulation somewhat, as you saw a moment ago. But in terms of overall look and appearance, it looks really, really nice. And this is just a stunning figure. And I think everything about it is really nice. So Hasbro should applaud themselves for this one, give themselves a big pat on the back. It's a really cool figure indeed, and definitely one that I recommend picking up, whichever packaging you decide to grab it in. So I'll just give you an alternate look at some of the poses you can get this guy into. Obviously you can have him in that trademark Tusken pose, raising the gaffy above his head. Just a really, really nice figure. And I'm really, really happy with the way this one turned out. So once again, if you want to add this guy to your own collection, be sure to hit the link down below in the video description. As I said, I will include links where you can purchase both the standard red and black box and the 40th anniversary vintage card variations of this figure. Although whichever one you decide to pick up, the figure itself is a stunner. So if you enjoyed having a look at this one, I'll be back with some more 6-inch Black Series figure reviews very soon. As I mentioned, I've got the 40th anniversary legacy pack with the brand new Darth Vader to give you a look at in a future video, plus some figures from some of the older waves. We've got Sabine, the AT-AT driver, Ahsoka, tons of figures to give you a look at, and I can't wait to give you all these reviews. So until my next video, as always, thank you for watching, keep collecting, and may the Force be with you.